Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment, quiet and cruel, when the silence after goodbye echoes louder than the love that once filled the room. You sit with a heart that feels torn, empty, confused, and in that moment you wonder, will I ever feel whole again? Stay with me, because this is not the end. This is the beginning of something far more powerful than the pain you carry. Pain has a way of striking us when we least expect it. A force that comes like a storm and leaves us standing in the wreckage of what we once knew. It doesn't ask permission. It doesn't warn us. One moment everything seems fine. The next your heart aches as though it's been shattered by an invisible hand. You feel as though you're drowning, as though every breath is too heavy to take. The pain of a broken heart doesn't just hurt, it strikes deep within, making you question everything you thought you knew about yourself and the world around you. It's tempting to think that this pain, this sense of loss, is permanent, that you will carry it with you forever. But let me tell you something, and let it sink into your soul. Pain is not permanent. When you find yourself lying awake at night, feeling the weight of everything you've lost, it might seem like it'll never end. But pain has a way of being a cruel, passing teacher. It doesn't last forever, though it may feel that way. You see, pain is not the enemy. It's the signpost. It's the moment that calls you to rise, to transcend, to see beyond the darkness that envelops you. It may feel like it's consuming you, but what you must understand is that this too will pass. It's hard to see the way forward when the road feels so uncertain. The heart feels exposed, fragile, and protected. In those moments you might ask, will I ever be whole again? Will I ever stop feeling this empty? These are the questions we ask when we're in the grip of something we don't understand. But remember this. The pain you feel is not the end of your story. It is merely the process of your rebirth, the raw material that will shape you into a stronger, wiser version of yourself. There is strength in this process, even when it doesn't seem apparent. The storm may rage, but it will pass, and when it does, you will see the clarity that follows. The difficult truth we often refuse to accept is that in order to heal, we must feel the pain. We can't outrun it. We can't pretend it's not there. It must be faced, experienced, and allowed to move through us. Just as the earth needs rain to grow, we need pain to transform. It's uncomfortable, it's dark, and it can leave us feeling exposed. But if we face it with the courage to feel it, without judgment, without resistance, then we begin the journey of healing. The old version of us dies in the process, but from those ashes, a new version of us begins to rise. And when we embrace that transformation, we find that the pain becomes our guide, showing us who we are and what we are made of. It may not feel like it in the moment, but when you look back, you will see that you are being carved into someone capable of something far greater. Pain, while it may seem like a punishment, is actually the gateway to strength. You will not be the same person you were before, but in that change, you will find something remarkable. Resilience. You will learn that you are not as fragile as you once believed. You are not your heartbreak. You are not your pain. You are the force that rises from it. Now I want you to hear this. The past is a place of reference, not residence. So many of us get stuck in the past, replaying old memories, old conversations, old mistakes. We look back constantly wondering what we could have done differently, but there is power in letting go of that. The past is not meant to be a place where you live. It's not meant to be the house in which you take up residence day after day, never moving forward. The past is a reference point. It's the map that tells you where you've been, not where you're going. We cannot change what has already happened. We cannot undo the mistakes we've made, the choices we regret, or the things that were taken from us. But we can change how we allow the past to influence us. We can choose to learn from it and then let it go. There is wisdom in looking back, but there is freedom in looking forward. So many of us live in the shadow of what has already happened. We are haunted by the ghosts of past failures, past loves, past betrayals. It's a natural thing to want to understand what went wrong, to want to find the answers that will ease our pain. But this constant dwelling on the past only keeps us tethered to a version of ourselves that no longer exists. It keeps us in a cycle of rehashing, regretting, and replaying. What we must realize is that there is no future in the past. If you want to heal, if you want to move forward, you must let go. You must release the grip that the past has on you. That doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean pretending that the hurt didn't happen or that it didn't matter. But it does mean that you acknowledge what happened. You learn from it, and then you let it go so that it no longer has the power to define you. The past is a book that has already been written, and it is time to close it and begin anew. The more you hold on to the past, the more you give it power over you. Every time you think about the person who hurt you, or the opportunity you lost, or the dream that was shattered, you allow that moment to take hold of your present. And you cannot heal when you are chained to what's already gone. The future, the life you are meant to live, is waiting for you in the present. You cannot grasp it if you are holding on to what was. But here's the beauty of it all. Once you let go of what was, you free yourself to embrace what could be. You allow space for new experiences, new relationships, and new opportunities, but you free yourself from the burden of what you cannot change. The past will always be a part of you, but it does not have to control your destiny. You are the author of your own story, and today you can begin a new chapter. So let go. Let go of the things that no longer serve you, the memories that only weigh you down, and the expectations that keep you in a loop of regret. You are not your past. You are what you choose to become. These truths, when understood and accepted, will begin the process of healing, not because you forget, but because you are finally free. Free to move forward, free to embrace the future that's waiting for you, ready to unfold in ways you can't yet imagine. Pain may visit you, but it will not stay. And when it leaves, it will leave behind a version of you that is stronger, wiser, and far more capable of facing whatever comes next. In the midst of heartbreak, it's all too easy to believe that you are broken, that the pieces of your heart are scattered beyond repair, beyond healing. But let me tell you something powerful. You are not broken, you are becoming. What is brokenness really? It's a feeling, a perception that you no longer recognize who you are or what you once were. But what if I told you that brokenness is not a reflection of your failure? It's not the end of your story, it's the beginning of something much deeper. When your heart breaks, it doesn't shatter into pieces that can never be put back together. No, it fractures, yes. But in that very process, something remarkable is happening. You are being reshaped. Think about the greatest works of art. Think about the sculptures that have endured centuries, standing tall in museums across the world. They were not created in their final form. No, they were chiseled away, cut, and sculpted, sometimes broken, sometimes incomplete, before they reached the greatness they now hold. The artist knew that the shape would emerge in time, even if it had to be molded through hardship. Just as these sculptures need the artist's hands to bring them into being, your heart, your spirit, needs the pain of life to reshape it into a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. We often mistake the breaking for the end, but in truth, it is the moment of transformation. It is in the most painful moments that your inner strength is revealed. You are not being destroyed. You are being made. You are being sculpted by life itself. And the more you resist this process, the longer it will take for you to emerge whole again. But if you let go of the resistance, if you allow yourself to feel the pain and accept it as part of your evolution, you will see that what feels like destruction is in fact the necessary process of growth. You are being forged into something stronger, something wiser, something more capable of facing whatever life throws your way. The raw material of your soul is being shaped. You may not see it now, but in time you will understand that everything that has happened to you has been a part of this process. You will no longer look at the past with regret, but with gratitude, because it was that very pain that led you to the strength you now possess. Your heart is not shattered, it is being built anew, piece by piece, stronger and more resilient than before. Understand this. You are not your pain. You are not your heartbreak. You are not defined by the moments that have hurt you. You are defined by your ability to rise, to grow, to transform. Each scar, each wound is a testament to your survival. You wear them not as signs of weakness, but as emblems of strength. You are not broken, you are becoming. And with each passing day, you are becoming someone who can withstand even the fiercest storms. Someone who can love again. Someone who can give of themselves without fear, knowing that no matter what happens, they have the power to rise again. And in this process of becoming, you must understand something fundamental. Letting go is an act of courage, not defeat. Letting go does not mean you have failed. It does not mean you are weak. It does not mean you are giving up. Letting go is an act of self-respect. It is the recognition that holding on to something that no longer serves you is not the path to healing. When you let go of something that has hurt you, whether it is a person, a dream, or a painful memory, you are not conceding defeat. You are choosing to take control of your own life, to release the hold that the past has over you. There is a misconception that letting go is a form of surrender, that it is a sign of giving up, but nothing could be further from the truth. To let go is to recognize that the thing you are holding on to no longer serves you, and that in order to move forward, you must release it. Letting go is not weakness, it is strength. It is the courage to face the truth, to accept that what once was may never be again, and to step into the unknown with the confidence that you can handle whatever comes your way. There is great power in this act of release. It is a decision, a choice you make, not out of defeat, but out of wisdom. You see, when you hold on to something that hurts you, you are allowing it to continue to control you. You are giving away your power, your peace, your future, and your growth. But when you let go, you take back that power. You take back control over your own destiny. You no longer let the past dictate your future. You no longer let the heartbreak keep you bound to a life of pain. Letting go requires incredible courage. It is the courage to face the unknown, to step away from what is familiar, to release something you thought you needed in order to find something greater. It is the courage to trust that life will bring you what you need when the time is right, and that you are worthy of better. People often hold on to the past because they fear that if they let go, they will be left with nothing. They fear that if they release the hurt, they will be empty. But in truth, letting go is not about becoming empty. It is about making space for something new, something better. It is about creating room for growth, for healing, and for a future that will be brighter than the past you are holding on to. The act of letting go is also an act of forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about excusing what happened or forgetting the pain. It is about releasing the hold that the past has on your present. It is freeing yourself from the grip of anger, regret, and sorrow. Forgiveness is not for the other person. It is for you. It is the key to unlocking your own peace, your own freedom. When you forgive, you are not condoning the hurt that was done to you, but you are choosing not to let it control your life any longer. It's important to understand that letting go is a process. It's not something that happens overnight. It requires patience, compassion, and time, but with each step you take toward release, you will feel lighter, freer, and more capable of moving forward. And with time, you will look back and realize that letting go was not the end, but the beginning of something far more powerful. So let go of what no longer serves you. Let go of the things that hurt you, the people who hold you back, the past that keeps you anchored to a version of yourself that no longer fits. Let go not because you are defeated, but because you are strong enough to move forward. Let go because you are worthy of something better, something greater, something that will bring you the peace and joy that you have longed for. And in doing so, you will free yourself to embrace the future, a future filled with endless possibilities and the promise of a life that is not defined by the pain of the past, but by the courage to rise above it. When you've loved deeply and lost deeply, the heart doesn't just ache, its own ability to trust again. You wonder if love is worth the risk, if opening yourself to another soul is worth the vulnerability, the potential for disappointment, for heartbreak all over again. It's natural to retreat, to build walls around yourself so high that no one can climb them. You convince yourself that safety lies in isolation, that by guarding your heart, you protect yourself from the pain you've already tasted. But what you may not realize is that in doing so, you also protect yourself from joy, from growth, from life itself. Love is not the enemy. Heartbreak, for all its agony, is proof that you dared to feel something real, that you were courageous enough to give your heart, to offer yourself unguarded in a world where so many remain closed. And that is not weakness, that is power. Because to trust again after heartbreak, to choose love again after being hurt, that is the true act of strength. Anyone can shut down, lock themselves away, and live in the shadow of what once was. But those who rise, those who dare to love again, they are the ones who understand the beauty of resilience. Trust is not rebuilt in a day. It is a slow return to openness, a quiet decision made in the small moments to let yourself feel again. It begins not with others, but with yourself. You must first trust that you are worthy of love, that you are capable of being loved, that your past pain does not make you unlovable, but more human, more whole. Each scar is not a flaw, it is a mark of survival, a sign that you have lived, that you have cared deeply. And when you see that, when you embrace yourself with all your wounds, you begin to rebuild trust from the inside out. It's easy to blame the world, to say that people cannot be trusted, that love is a lie, that nothing lasts. But that is the voice of fear, not truth. The truth is, people will disappoint you. Life will not always go the way you imagined. But that doesn't mean trust should die. It means you must grow wiser. You must trust with eyes open, not naive, not desperate, but hopeful. You must trust in your own judgment. You must trust that you've grown stronger, that you can handle pain if it comes again, and that you're not the same person who once broke. You are someone who has learned, who knows better, who is still willing to give, because giving is where life flows. When you begin to trust again, you are not erasing the past. You are not pretending the heartbreak never happened. You are choosing not to be ruled by it. That is courage. That is how healing becomes real. Love again, not recklessly, but freely. Because when you love without fear of loss, when you give without clinging to control, you step into the fullness of who you were meant to be. Your heart was made to feel. Let it. Life in its essence is movement. It is forward motion, constant change. And yet we often resist that very nature, especially after loss. We stand still in the ruins of what once was, hoping that somehow the pieces will come back together the way they were. But nothing truly valuable in life is ever found by standing still. Everything grows in motion. Everything heals in the process of moving forward. To move forward after heartbreak is not to forget what happened, it's to honor it by becoming more. You were not meant to live stuck in a moment. No matter how painful, no matter how significant, it is not your whole story. The pain that felt like an ending is only a chapter, and it is your decision to keep writing. Forward is not a direction, it is a decision to wake up and choose life again, even when you don't feel ready. A decision to look ahead, to place one foot in front of the other, to trust that you're going somewhere, even when the destination is still unclear. There is a quiet bravery in rising after a fall, in deciding that your future matters more than your past. Moving forward doesn't mean you have everything figured out. It doesn't mean you're not afraid. It means you've made peace with your fear and chosen to walk anyway. There will be days where you look back, where the memories flood in without warning. Let them. Acknowledge them, but do not live in them. Look at them as a traveler passing through, not a resident. You have so much life still ahead of you. There are still songs to hear, faces to meet, laughter to be shared, quiet mornings and roaring nights that have yet to unfold. Do not rob yourself of what could be by staying bound to what was. The pain you felt was real. It shaped you, but it does not define you. What defines you is what you choose to do next. Take a step, just one. Maybe that means going outside and letting the sun touch your face for the first time in days. Maybe it means reaching out to a friend. Maybe it's writing your thoughts down, pouring the ache out onto paper so you can begin to understand it. Each small step is a sign that you are alive, that you still have something left to give. And believe me, you do. Every person you admire, every soul that seems to glow with wisdom, they have walked through their own valleys. They have known heartbreak, rejection, despair, and yet they rose. Not because they were stronger than you, but because they chose not to stay in the darkness. They walked until the light found them again. So will you. The light is not gone. It may be distant, faint, hidden behind layers of sorrow, but it is there, waiting for you to move toward it. Your life is not over. It is unfolding, and the pain that once consumed you will become the soil where something new takes root. You are not here by accident. You are still breathing for a reason. You are still needed in this world. Your story is not done being written. The truth is, you will love again. You will laugh again. You will trust again. You will rise, not as who you once were, but as someone far more powerful, far more alive, far more whole. Let the past be a place of lessons, not a prison of regrets. Let your heart expand, not shrink. Let your life be a testament, not to the pain you endured, but to the strength with which you rose. You don't need to see the whole path. Just take the next step. That's how healing happens. That's how you move forward. That's how life finds you again. And it will. It always does. Healing is not forgetting. Healing is remembering without the sting. It's waking up one day and realizing your heart doesn't ache the way it used to, that the tears don't fall so often, that you laughed again and meant it. There is power in solitude. Sit with yourself. Look in the mirror. Face what hurts, but also face what's still alive in you. And when you do, when you see the light that still flickers in your chest, you'll understand something very few people do. You survived. You survived the crash, the silence, the rejection, the betrayal, and now you get to rebuild. But this time, slower, smarter, softer, not with desperation, but with dignity. And one day, when love knocks again, because it will, you won't open the door from a place of emptiness hoping to be filled. You'll open it already whole. And that, my friends, that is how you heal a broken heart. Thank you.